So next example, exercise 4.3. You tell me, what do I do right at the beginning?
Look at the elements.
Good. So what do I have?
Okay, so I've got property, plant, and equipment, which is as an asset.
Correct.
Asset.
What else do I have?
Then I've got capital, and liability.
Good. Okay, great. So you've got everything. Do you agree?
Yeah.
In this question, you weren't given partner-specific accounts, like current accounts, like drawings, like reserves. If you did have those, what do you do with them?
Close them off.
To where?
To the capital account.
Correct. Okay, don't forget about that. You always close off your accounts to capital.
Okay.
Okay, especially if it's a partner-specific account. It's like simultaneous liquidation. You've got bank, you've got liquidation, you've got capital. Except here, there's no liquidation. It's all the other accounts, assets and liabilities.
Okay.
All right, so to get easy marks here, I need to draw up columns. So let's go to our workings and let's draw up columns for all of those different accounts. I'm going to start with PPE. I then have capital. Okay, purchase, pine,
and
promise. Yes. Okay, those are the three, and that's capital. Great. Oh, and there was still one more account, the creditors. Hey. Yeah, we can't forget about that account. All right, so those are our headings, and then we'll have a balance, obviously. Okay, one line down, and then we'll draw some columns up. Okay, and this is what you would do if this was the exam. In your answer book, right? You would draw up the columns, and you would then process the closing transfers. Okay, so you close off all your current reserves, drawings, all to capital. They didn't give that to us in this question, so I can't close anything off. All I can do is put the amount in to get maybe a half a mark. So how much was the PPE worth?
18,000.
Okay, 18 for the PP. How much capital does Patras have?
8,000.
8,000. Pine?
5,000.
And Promise?
2,000.
2,000. Okay, so those are your partner's owner's equity. So if I highlight that, I can then write owner's equity here equals, well,
12.
the sum of those three amounts. Do you agree?
Yep.
Okay, let's add up. Equals sum of those three. Okay, so looking at that, I've got 15,000 there. You also had creditors. So the creditors was an amount of?
3,000.
3,000. So again, if I go OE equals A minus L, okay, where are my assets? Well, those are my assets, and those are my liabilities, minus that. Okay, and if I subtract the 2, I get
15.
15 as well. Okay, so 15 on that side, 15 on this side. You've got it balancing. Okay, that's always worthwhile to check. You don't have to check. As long as you work carefully, it's not necessary to do that step. You're not going to get bonus marks for that. I'm just showing it to you just so that we keep it in line with the theory. Okay, owner's equity equals assets minus liabilities. Doesn't matter what I'm doing, that needs to hold true.
Okay.
Alright, so now what do I do? What does the question say?
So basically required is record the liquidation of African in columnar format.
Yeah, it'll always be in this format in terms of your piecemeal liquidation. So you don't have to worry too much about that. They've just described what you need to actually do.
Okay.
Okay, but tell me about this. What happened there?
Due to increasing liquidity problems, the partners decided to liquidate the partnership piecemeal as from the 1st of July.
Good. Okay, so they do normally tell you what liquidation you're using, and important though is this. As soon as cash becomes available, it's going to be paid out, because that tells you you need to loss absorption capacity method it.
Okay,
you need to use it.
Okie dokie.
Alright, so when cash becomes available, I pay it out. I don't wait till the end.
Okay.
As cash comes, as cash arises, cash is paid to partners.
Okay.
All right. So let's start with the first step.
Okay.
Step number 1, stage 1. Good or bad stage?
It's a good stage because you actually got what you hoped for.
Correct. Yeah, you got what you sold it for in terms of value. Okay, so something was worth 2,500. Okay.
You sold it.
You sold it for 2,500. All right. So
No.
stage 1. Proceeds.
2.5.
Correct. And then the same for carrying value. Right. So no profit, no loss. All you're going to show here is a plus against bank. There was no bank here, meaning there was 0 sitting in the bank.
Okay.
And then 2,500 comes in and 2,500 goes out
Yeah.
from that account. Okay, so there's the first line item. Plus 2,500 there, minus 2,500 there. Then I need to total. Okay, so that amount less the 2.5. And that's where I am currently. So again, just to check,
Okay.
group all the equity together, group all the liabilities and assets together. Right, if I add up, I'm going to get that. I need to change the formula here to include the bank.
Okay.
Alright, so now you can see things still balance nicely. You've got the capital there and you've got assets and liabilities here. Right,
Okay.
let's do it a bit differently from the first one we did. Okay, in the first one I waited till I had enough to settle the creditors. Let's pay off the creditors as and when we earn cash. Okay, so can I pay off my creditors? Well, yes you can if you want to. Because this 2,500, can the partners take it?
No.
No. Okay, they can't take 2.5 because you're owing 3.
Yeah.
Right, so you must pay creditors first.
Okay.
Right, so if I show that, minus 2.5, minus 2.5. Again, let's get a total. Alright, so the creditors have now reduced to 500, but I still have a liability. I don't have any more cash, and I've only got PP and equity. So if I work that out again, does it still balance? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Okay, stage 2 now.
Okay.
Good or bad stage?
A bad stage.
Why bad?
Because we're making a 600 rand loss.
Perfect. Okay, so you can see you sold assets worth 5,600 for 5. So you have made a loss. That's important to identify. Okay, so let's go back. Let's write the same thing. Proceeds carrying value. Proceeds was 5,600 and 5,000 for carrying value. No, other way around. Sorry, that's my mistake.
Yeah, 5,000 and 5,600.
Yes, other way around. Okay, it was a loss, not a profit. Okay, so it must be this way. Equals a loss of 600. Right, so who gets the loss?
Partners.
Correct. Okay, so you need to share the loss between the partners. Right, so if I share the loss between the partners, how much does Patras get?
He gets 5/10.
Yes, correct. Okay, so minus 600 times 5/10 gives you 300 for that partner. Okay, Pine gets
3/10.
correct, and the last partner gets 2/10. Good, so you've allocated the loss.
Okay.
Once you've allocated the loss, you can then balance off. I still need to put the proceeds though. Where are my proceeds going to go?
Blank.
Correct, good. Plus 5,000. And the carrying value?
PPE or less of PPE.
Well done. Yeah, you're going to subtract that from PPE. Good. Okay, so then I need columns again. So let's get some totals. All right, this amount less the 5,600. Okay, this 800 less the 300. And those two amounts. All right, so that's where we are currently in terms of the actual question. We've gone as far as question or stage 2.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we are currently. So this is how things stand after stage 2. So now we need to ask those questions. What are the 2 questions we're going to be asking?
Do we have cash?
Do we have cash?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay.
But have we paid all our creditors?
No.
No. Okay, so we first need to pay them, then we need to apply loss absorption if we need to.
Okay.
Okay, so pay off the creditors. I'm going to minus 5 here and minus 5 there. Zero here and 4,500 there. Right, if you wanted to, again, you can check. Have a look at this. If I check the working, I get owner's equity still balancing. So the green and the yellow still balance.
Okay.
Right, so now I can ask those questions. So you asked, you said, is there cash available? You said?
Yes.
Can it be distributed to the partners?
Yes.
Yes, because you've paid off all your liabilities.
Yep.
Are there still other assets?
Yes.
Will loss absorption apply?
Yes.
Definitely. Okay, so loss absorption will apply here, and then we need to do the working in between. Okay, so let's highlight that. Okay. What does loss absorption say? It says assume a maximum loss.
Loss.
All right, so the maximum loss that can occur in this business is?
Minus 9,900.
Correct, good. Okay, it's that amount over there. Right, so this is the maximum loss that can occur.
Okay.
This loss is attributable to who?
The partners.
The partners, correct. So each partner is going to share that loss. How much does partners get?
5 out of 10.
Correct.
5 over 10.
And then 3 for that one.
Yeah.
And 2 for that one.
Yep.
Okay, so now you've got the maximum anticipated loss being allocated to the partners. Right, so let's check who are responsible. This minus that. Okay. Right, so are we happy with the partners?
Yes, except promise.
Correct. So now what happens with that?
The other guys need to pay for it.
Correct. The other 2 have to meet that amount in terms of the actual loss. Okay, so that loss will be allocated to Partridge and Pine. What ratio?
So it will be 5 over 8 and 3 over 8.
Good, well done. Okay, see, you need to use those profit sharing ratios correctly because they're sharing promises loss.
Yeah.
Okay, so this times 5 over 8 and 3 over 8. So that's what they're carrying in terms of that loss.
Okay.
Then let's total up again. This minus that gives me that amount. Okay, so are they good partners?
Yes, they are.
They are. Okay, so how are you going to allocate the 4,500? Who gets it?
Well, those 2.
Correct, yes, and they get it according to those amounts.
So do we stop here now?
No, you don't. You've still got 2 other stages.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we're not finished yet. Those I'm going to ask you to do, okay, as practice to see if you'd be able to complete those last two. Okay, because I've done quite a bit of this now. I want you to try one as a practice example, just to see if you'd be able to do this working. Okay. All right. 100%. So first interim repayment.
Okay.
Minus that amount, that's how much they pay, and then minus 4,500. That's the first interim repayment.
Okay.
Okay, and that interim repayment is going to affect those balances there.
Yeah.
All right, so
let's... So that, at that point in time, the partnership pays partners 2,687 Rand and Pine gets 1,812 Rand.
Correct.
So that money they put and they take and they put it in their pocket.
Yeah, they take that from the partnership, yes. Okay, because they're closing the business.
Okay, 100%.
Good. Okay. Right, then again, if you wanted to check, do the totals still match? Yes, they do. What I have here and what I have there, tie up. Okay. Is that all right so far?
100%.
Good. Okay, so you do stage 3 and 4. Okay, stage 3. I'm not going to write anything here. Okay, I'll leave this up in case you need it, but let's see how far you can get, and then I'll go through it, and then I'll discuss the workings again. But try just to see how much of it you would be able to replicate, to create. Okay.
Okay. So, do you want me to tell you what to do now, or must I work it out on a piece of paper quickly?
Okay, let's do it that way then. All right, you tell me what I should be putting onto the diagram then. We might as well. Okay, so I won't explain what is happening. You're explaining to me what's happening.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so stage 3 says the third liquidation. It's actually a good stage because the carrying amount was 6,000. And the cash received was 6,000 as well.
Okay, so what do I do with that?
Okay, so go back to your spreadsheet.
Correct.
Okay, then we say there under stage 3, there in cell in B44, say carrying amount is 6,000 and proceed is 6,000.
Perfect.
Okay. So there's no profit or loss.
Good.
So bank goes up by 6,000. Yeah. And then in column C, we minus 6,000.
Good.
Okay.
Then what do I do?
Then, so let me look at the top. So we deduct that. 9,900 less 6,000.
Good. Okay, nice.
Okay. Yes. Okay, fantastic. So now we've got that. Well, we've got now we asked those two questions.
Yes, good.
So the first question is, do we still have cash? And the answer is yes. And the other, do we still have assets? And the answer is also yes. So we must pay them out. So we apply the loss absorption capacity method.
Good. Okay, so before you tell me how to do that, I just want to quickly check this. Does that still balance? Yes, it does. Okay, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so now you can continue. Keep going. Tell me what to do.
Okay. All right, so now let me just quickly think about it. So, 3,900. So I must split what we've got left in terms of cash according to that ratio.
No. Okay, remember you just said I must use the loss absorption capacity method. So when you use this method, what are the words that should come to mind? The first word that popped to mind should be this.
Oh shit, yeah, sorry, max loss.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, sorry. So in B50 we can write max loss.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then we say in C50 minus 3,900.
Good. See, that's good. That's good. See, now you're looking at what is the maximum loss. Great. Keep going.
Okay, now we're going to split it between the partners in column D, E, and F.
Good. So tell me, how am I going to split it?
So in cell D50, we say minus 3,900 times 5/10.
Perfect.
Okay, and then in E50 we say the same, but 3/10, and then 2/10 next door.
Nice.
All right, fantastic. Okay, so now we know that. Now we need to look at. Now we must deduct that from the bottom, from the top portion.
Good.
Okay. Yeah. And they're all positive.
So
they're all good partners.
good, yeah. So do they all get a share of the 6,000?
Yes, they all get a share of what's left at this point in time.
Exactly, yeah. So if I just highlight that, that's the loss absorption capacity method. So you've done that correctly. Well done. Now what do you do? You show. You've worked out something. Now you need to show it.
We need to show what portion of that 6,000 each one will get.
Yes, good. So second.
Oh, the second payment.
Repayment, yes.
Okay.
Good. Okay. And the second interim repayment is going to be the amount that you just worked out there.
So that'll tally, because that'll tally to 6, yeah. So nobody needs to pay for any bad partner.
Yes, good.
Fantastic.
So how much comes out of bank?
All of it.
All of it, minus 6. There's your second line item. And then what do I do after that?
Well, then we look at the fourth liquidation.
No, total.
Oh, okay, sorry, total.
What totals am I going to put here?
Yeah, the top there, what's left.
So tell me how to work out this figure.
So that figure will be D46 less D53.
Perfect, good. Okay, great. So you know where to get those right amounts. Well done. Okay, so that's what you've got. And then here, you're obviously going to take the 6 minus the 6, which is 0. Okay.
And then we still have 3,900 left in PPE.
We still have 3,900, correct, yes. Don't forget about that.
Okay.
All right, so again, if you wanted to, we can check. Let me do the quick check here. Right, yep, everything is still balancing nicely. So that's correct. You've done that part correctly. Well done. Okay, then what?
Then now we go to the fourth liquidation.
Yes.
Okay. So we say that there was a carrying amount of 3,900, which is exactly what we have left, and we sold it for 100 and profit. We sold it for 4,000.
Good, so?
Okay, so there's 100 and profit. So we go back to our spreadsheet, and we say the fourth stage.
Correct, yeah.
Yeah. Carrying value was 3,900. Proceeds is 4,000. And then a profit of 100.
Yes, that's important. All right, so what do I do with this 100?
So we must share it with those 3 boykies.
Yes. Okay. Good, so let's share that. Let me just show the arrows. All right, that's correct. So far, so good.
Okay.
How do I share that?
With the profit sharing ratio.
Which is 5, 3, 2. So each one gets?
Yeah, 100 times 5/10, so it's 50, 30, 20.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, what else do I do?
Well, I suppose that basically closes off.
Not yet. You're still missing some figures here. You're missing some marks.
So do we have to show that we sold the PPE to 0?
Yes, you have to.
Okay.
And
the bank, well, there's nothing in the bank. Oh, sorry, that's a 4,000, of course.
The 4,000 comes into the bank.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so you can't forget about those 2 figures. And then what do I do now?
Well, then you just tally it to show that it's 0.
Correct.
Everything's closed off.
Tally up. No, it's not 0 yet.
Okay.
Okay, because this minus that's 0, so I'm happy with that. This isn't
Oh,
zero. This
that gets plus
gets
that.
bigger.
Yeah, that plus that. Yes.
Okay, those amounts get bigger. And what happens to
Yeah.
bank?
It
Also gets bigger.
yes.
Okay, so now what do I do?
Now we just check if it's balancing again.
Yes, okay, so if you want to do the check, we can. That's fine, great, yeah.
Okay. And that basically that, I suppose, huh? What else is there left to do?
Pay out the partners.
The partners, so partners gets 2,000, Fine gets 1,200, and Promise gets 800.
Yes, okay, that's good. Okay, that's better. So just remember to always end with the actual payment. So does loss absorption capacity method apply here? Does it?
No.
No, it doesn't. I just want to delete these columns so you can see that other bit. Okay, so does it apply here? No, because this is a no. There are no other assets.
Yes.
Okay, so then final repayments.
Okay.
Do you agree?
Yep.
And then we can show the zeros.
Okay.
All right, well done. Considering you've done this for the first time, that's really good. You understood how to do it. You even knew what to do in terms of the working. So that's really good. So well done. Nice effort.
Thank you.
Okay, that's great. All right, so that covers Study Unit 4. Study Unit 4 is complete now. Okay, we've looked at the study unit. We've looked at all the partnership sections now. So we've covered everything. Next week, we're looking at a new section, which is the CCs. Okay, before I let you go, Neil, I just want to show you that other question that I mentioned. Okay, something that you can use to practice.
Yes,
all right, I want to quickly go show you the right on the website. Okay,
yes.
www.creativosolutions.com. If you look at the resources page, you'll see I've posted an additional question here: piecemeal liquidation.
Right.
Okay, this particular question. Okay, I'll just open it. I'll view it. Okay. This is my own question that I've generated that looks at a piecemeal liquidation. I describe a scenario. I give you some balances. You can see I've given you more because this is the type of question you'll see in tests and exams. You've got capital here. You've also got current here. Okay, then I've given you 3 stages to look at in the actual question. Okay, so this is an additional question that you can do as practice. The solution for this question is on the website as well. There's the solution, the piecemeal liquidation solution.
Oh, I see. Okay,
so,
I'm not going to look at that.
So there's a question that you can do, and there's a solution that you can use to check your answers.
Okay, perfect.
If you still don't know how to get the solution, then on the YouTube channel, so if I go to the YouTube channel, so this is the YouTube channel. There are some other videos for some of the basic principles. Okay, so what is owner's equity, what is the expense, and so on. Okay, there's a bit more as well here for the different basic principles for accounting. But the video that you are going to be interested in is this one over here, which is the financial accounting piecemeal liquidation example and the financial accounting piecemeal liquidation theory. The theory we've covered, so you don't need to watch that video. You already know the theory. It's just this question. This is the answer or the solution to the one that I've got on the website. Okay, so the resources that you have here, this question covering piecemeal, that's the question, that's the solution, and this is the how to do the question if you get stuck.
Okay, perfect.
Right, so it's just an additional resource. It's an extra question. I'm going to do lots of these with you later when we look at assignment and past papers, but that's just something separate that you can use as well to help you with your studies looking at this particular section.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. All right, so if you want to and you have some time, maybe try do the question ahead of time as practice and then mark your solution with the or mark your answer with the solution and see how you go. Okay, if you have any problems, if you get stuck, watch the video. I'll go through everything very specifically. I show students how to calculate the amount, and then if you still have problems with that, let me know next week and we can always discuss that before we start with the new section.
100%.
Okay. All right, Neil, do you have any questions about this section?
I've got just one question.
Yes.
I must be honest with you, I found this partnership actually quite easy.
Good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad. That's good. That's a good sign.
How does that compare to CC? Is that more tricky?
CCs are actually so much similar to your sole proprietor. Lots of adjustments. Okay, so I'm going to talk about adjusting allowances again. I'm going to talk about processing depreciation. I'm going to look at prepaid expenses, accrued expenses, those adjustments.
Okay, perfect.
It's disclosure. It's a lot of disclosure. So if you want to relate it to something we did recently, it's very similar to Chapter 2. Okay, Study Unit 2, because Study Unit 2 was all those statements where I drew up the statements for the partnership.
Yeah.
We're going to do the same thing there, but we're drawing up statements for the closed corporation.
Perfect.
Okay. All right, you sound very tired. So do you have any other questions, any more questions?
No. I'm very happy. Thank you, Anthony.
Right.
You're really helping me tremendously. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm glad. And as I said, you have the videos as well. So you can always watch this again and again and again if you need to. It's available. I'll upload these videos this week in the next day or two. And then you'll obviously get the YouTube link. Then you can log on and you can watch them if you need to. Okay, it's always available that you can go back and check. Okay.
Beautiful. Will you just send me these workings, please?
Of course, yeah. I will send the workings because now we've completed Study Unit 4. We've done exercise 4.1. We've done 4.2. And now tonight we've completed 4.3 as well.
Perfect. Fantastic.
Great. Okay, Neil. Good job. Well, good effort. I'm impressed with your loss absorption capacity skills here. You did well. Normally students struggle when they see it for the first time, but you followed it quite nicely, so that's great. Okay.
So thank you very much. But it's the way you explain it to me, it just makes sense. So yeah.